Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, February the 6th is National Frozen Yogurt Day, National Lame Duck Day, National Chopsticks Day, Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Ooh, I like that. And National Play Outside Day, which you'd think would be, during a nicer time of the year. Sunday, February the 7th is National Fettuccine Alfredo Day, National Periodic Table Day, National Send a Card to a Friend Day, and Super Bowl Sunday. All that stuff happening this weekend. And I've got a guest joining me, and this is a story that just, like, when I first got this sent to me, I thought, there's no way that can be accurate. Sounds like a movie, doesn't sound like real life. But there's a book by Amelia Pang. She'll be our guest. The book is called Made in China. Mm-hmm. And it says, A Prisoner, an SOS Letter, and the Hidden Cost of America's Cheap Goods. This is a true story about a lady who opened up some Halloween decorations, and there was a note from somebody who's been held captive in China that's being forced to make this stuff. I was like, that doesn't sound like a true story, but it is. So we're going to chat with her and get more details about that. The book is called...
so sad. That
it is
whole
sad. It's called
situation
Made in China. We'll be chatting with her in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Your sweetheart or your pet, Heidi? Who would you choose to dump if you had to let one go? Most current pet owners said they would hold on to their spouse or significant other. 84% said that. But 14% said, I pick the pet. He can go or she can go.
Well, I guess it depends on, if you just started dating somebody and they're saying it's me or the dog, guess what? The dog wins.
Yeah. It says, while both men and women were equally likely to go with their spouse or significant other, women are far more likely than men to say the human pet choice would be a tough one. 40% among the women compared to only 26% among the men said, let me think about this. And, again, I think a lot of it has to depend on how long
you've been with someone. Like if you and I got a new pet.
We've been talking about
and
that.
you were saying, it's either this dog or me. Obviously, I would choose the dog.
In one quick study, scientists have discovered a 635-million-year-old fossil. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. In Thailand, police auctioned off a Honda CR-V that had been seized during a drug bust. What they didn't do
is check and make sure they got everything out of it.
Yeah, the buyer spent $19,000 on the vehicle. Later, they were having some issues, and a mechanic discovered the issue. A secret compartment behind the bumper that contained $100,000.
Holy cow.
No, I'm sorry, 100,000 methamphetamine pills. So it's probably worth way more than $100,000.
Wow.
I don't know how much a meth pill is worth. Officials said they would conduct more thorough searches in the future.
I would hope so.
Can you imagine how awful it would be if you were the buyer and you got pulled over and they tried to pin that on you?
Right.
I mean, that would be the worst.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it is in this case, but somebody apparently had their brain on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. Disney's Jungle Cruise Ride is going to get an update. It says the boat-themed ride located at Adventureland at 4 Disney theme parks worldwide announced the attractions at Disneyland Park, Disneyland Resort, Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney. Anyway, wherever they happen to be, they will stay true to the experience we know and love, but there will be more humor, more wildlife, and skipper heart. What does that mean? Skipper heart.
No idea.
They're going to reflect and value the diversity of the world around us. They say all of these upgrades are going to include elements that tie into the upcoming Jungle Cruise movie.
Okay.
Do you even know what that? Have you ever even heard of the Jungle Cruise
haven't,
ride?
but I don't watch.
We haven't seen
trailers.
Our
I don't
kids
see anything
are grown
anymore.
and gone, and when I say gone, they come and visit once in a while. Not nearly enough kids. Wink, wink. But we don't. Yeah, we don't watch those anymore. So, and one other, a source says a live-action Harry Potter TV series is in the works for the HBO Max app.
Okay.
That's all I got. Nothing else. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of RedCrossBlood.org. GameStop investors mocked Wall Street this last week with a big series of digital billboards all across the country that saluted their big stock gains.
That's awesome.
So they were kind of having some fun because there's other stocks that were involved in that, but the one everybody knows is GameStop. And I know there were others as well, AMC, I think,
Yeah.
and I don't remember all of them, but how funny is it? That's the one we remember. Rod Stewart. I absolutely love Rod Stewart.
I did too. Yeah, we've had the privilege of seeing him.
Yeah, and he's got just an amazing voice. And the funny thing is, my favorite Rod Stewart music is stuff that a lot of people listening probably have never even heard of.
I know, me too. I know what you're going to say.
He's got the collection called The Great American Songbook. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful music. He reached a plea deal that will let him avoid jail time after he punched a security guard at a Palm Beach hotel.
Oh, jeepers.
Yeah. So apparently Rod Stewart's got a bit of a temper. I would have never guessed that, would you?
Well, no, but who knows what
Yeah, I don't know what led up to it. An autopsy revealed that Elvis Presley was constipated for 4 months leading up to his death.
Oh.
So, and I knew that there was something going on. I didn't realize it was 4 months, but I remember reading that somewhere. But so I don't know when they did this autopsy. I'm assuming back then. Probably not now. I don't know. O.J. Simpson was roasted online after tweeting a picture of himself getting the coronavirus vaccine. So he posted that photo online, and then everybody was very, very not nice to him. So
why? Everybody's posting pictures of themselves getting the
understand,
vaccine.
but for whatever reason, they thought they should pick on OJ for that.
Okay.
Police in Michigan rescued a red-tailed hawk that was stuck. It says here, the hawk was struck by a vehicle. When they arrived, they found the bird of prey trapped in the vehicle's grill. Police say officers meticulously extracted the hawk by removing parts of the front of the car without causing injury to the animal or causing any more damage to the car. Officers say the hawk received outstanding care, and that was at an animal emergency center. And the hawk, by the way, is expected to be released back into the wild any day now, and the hawk is doing well. That's good news.
Super duper.
And Amazon is launching a new subscription service for their Echo users. It's called Alexa Guard Plus. It's going to include access to a 24-hour helpline that will alert your smart speaker or displays if they hear like a break-in happening in your home. Oh. And there's deterrent measures that you can add. One of those would be the sounds of dogs barking.
Okay.
So like if there's a break-in detected, it would start barking like a dog. Guard Plus is going to come with a fee, so if it's something you're interested in, it's not free. But I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've already had times where I'm not going to say her name again because that probably drives all kinds of people batty when those things go off. But when it just goes off on its own. So how would you like to just be sitting there having dinner and all of a sudden your fork clinks on the plate and
Yeah.
thinks you're breaking into your house? And it'd be even worse if it calls like the security company.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe they've got it perfected, but I don't know. I'm not ready. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, But I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Our guest today is Amelia Pang, and she has a new book called Made in China. It tells the tale of a lady in the United States who was opening up some Halloween decorations back in 2012, and inside was a note from a prisoner who made the item. Now, this is not a novel. This is actually a true story that really happened, right?
Yes, everything in the book is true. It's nonfiction.
And they say sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Tell me more about what happened.
Right. So the book opens with an American woman named Julie Keith opening up a brand new package of Halloween decorations from Kmart in 2012. As she's pulling out the decorations, an SOS letter written by the political prisoner who had made this very product falls out. So the book tells his story, how he ended up in a labor camp, what ended up happening to him. But it also zooms out to look at the holes in our supply chain and the deeply flawed ways that a lot of corporations are auditing their Chinese suppliers, all the different factors that contributed to making it really easy for something that was manufactured in a labor camp in Liaoning, China, to end up selling at a Kmart in Portland, Oregon.
So these cheap decorations were made by people being held against their will, like prisoners?
Yes. They were forced laborers. Actually, they were not sentenced to go to prison. They never had a trial. Most of them did not have access to lawyers. They were simply arbitrarily detained there and received an informal sentence, and they can be detained there as long as the labor camp wants to detain them.
As I hear this tale, it just makes me wonder, how in the world is this even possible? But the system they live in is a completely different system than what we're used to, isn't it?
It is. And even the people who are sentenced to go to prison, the prosecution rate is 99.9% in China, so about 99.9% of all cases end up with a guilty verdict, and the person goes to prison. So there's bound to be a lot of innocent people in prisons doing forced labor.
So the events from the book took place in 2012. That's 9 years ago. Is this still happening today, or has it been fixed?
Oh, no, it's still happening, and it's actually getting worse with, I'm sure many of you may have heard of the rise of the re-education camps, which are labor camps for the Uyghur Turkic minority group in Xinjiang. That's a huge problem in China right now. And a lot of them have been making products such as PPE equipment, human hair extensions, and even raw materials for solar panels. And these products are being sold all around the world, including the U.S. So
many times when people buy items that were made in China, they are more affordable. But is it because of slave labor?
That's one aspect. A lot of times, if the company, if our corporation asks for too low of a price, and the factory can't realistically make these products for that cheap of a price, they're going to have to secretly outsource work to some really shady places where people aren't paid properly, like labor camps.
When I think of slavery, I think of 200 years ago, but this is still happening right now, today?
Yes, it's a huge problem. The people there are often tortured. It's very grueling conditions. And what we're seeing with the Uyghur labor camps in Xinjiang is that a lot of them are closely tied to cotton fields. They have to work in cotton fields. So I wouldn't want to make a direct comparison to American slavery, but there's definitely some chilling similarities.
Amelia, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for doing what you're doing to get this story out there. Now, are there steps that we can take just as people to help bring this to an end?
Yes. My book outlines steps that we can take to really help limit the amount of forced labor goods that are coming into our ports, including, asking our corporations to be actually transparent about how they're sourcing from these factories. What kind of prices are they demanding? What kind of deadlines? Can their factories realistically make these products for the amount of time that they're giving them, or do they have to outsource work to forced laborers? These are things that we can control as consumers with our spending power.
I suppose it's all a supply and demand, and if there is no demand, then the supply goes away.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about this, and thank you for all the time and effort you put into this book.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Again, our guest today, Amelia Pang. The book is called Made in China. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The male praying mantis cannot copulate while his head is still attached to his body. So the female initiates a little whoopee by ripping the man's head off.
Okay.
So it's a praying mantis. So now you know why he's praying. He's like, please don't get lucky. Please don't get lucky.
Okay.
So apparently after that, then he dies. She's done with him. And the rest, as they say, is really bizarre insect history.
And she doesn't have to worry about getting rid of her dog.
For those of you who were listening earlier, this is what it's called a callback. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. I just can't even believe I'm going to read this. What a bizarre thing. Dateline China.
Okay.
China has rolled out an anal swab test to slow the spread of COVID.
I saw
so
that.
what in the world, how does that work? What's wrong with just doing the nasal thing? I'm thinking, I don't understand.
They might be able to get both. So many people have their heads so far.
No, we're not going there. Thanks anyway, Heidi.
It's true.
Apparently.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, you're a hoot. This is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for a little bit of weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police say a man was arrested after threatening a person with a hatchet.
Yikes.
After his girlfriend cut in front of a car at an In-N-Out drive-thru. Man was sitting at a drive-thru. A woman driving a silver BMW cut in front of him. That's when the man flashed his headlights to get the woman's attention. She ignored him. Shortly after, another man got out of a truck parked nearby and broke the window of the victim's car.
Holy cow.
And threatened him with a hatchet. After breaking the window, the suspect, identified as Damon Lee Hollett, pointed at the victim with his hand bleeding and told the victim, "It'll be your blood next."
Whoa.
He left the area. A witness of the crime was able to provide police with a license plate of the truck. They were able to locate the unoccupied truck nearby, and it was also the same blood that was all over the driver's
People
door.
and their food, man. I mean, they just lose their minds.
I am trying to figure out how he's connected to this. Doesn't it sound like he was
he was just parked and saw somebody.
He flashed his headlights at the BMW, and then the guy came over and busted his window out for flashing the headlights? I'm not sure.
That's insane.
Everybody needs to calm down. Thanks for listening to today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by redcrossblood.org. I still cannot believe only 3% of people donate blood. You can donate very easily. It's pretty simple. All the details at redcrossblood.org. An L.A. city councilman botched a recital of the Pledge of Allegiance at a virtual meeting. And I have to tell you,
I saw this.
I feel so bad for the dude because
I don't
know. I'm sure he probably wasn't prepared for this.
How do you have to prepare? I mean, you should know it. Everybody should know it. Especially if you're serving in that capacity, you should definitely know it.
I can just imagine if you, and I have not seen the video. I'm just what I'm reading here. 43-second clip posted on Twitter talks about this. He started out to put out the words, but he messed up, and then it sounds like he... Did you see the video? Because it sounds like he typed on a keyboard to get the rest of the words.
That's just embarrassing.
You should know it. Absolutely should know it. But I can tell you, I have been there when you are on the spot and you're doing something and your brain is thinking, like if he's getting ready for something else and it's like, oh, I'm doing that. Your brain doesn't switch quick enough. So I'm just telling you, been there, done that. Maybe not quite that, but bizarre story. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Are you ready for this, Heidi?
I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to read the name of a real business. Heidi over here is going to tell me, is this a golf course or is it a rehab center? Here we go.
Okay.
White Oaks, Peoria, Illinois. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? White Oaks.
I'm going to say rehab center.
And you are, ladies and gentlemen, correct. It is a rehab center. That's your golf clap, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You've been doing really good at this, by the way.
I like this one.
You're good at these games.
Yeah.
I've got, a bunch of other fun stuff that I was going to
The
try.
other ones that I want to do, you won't do.
No, because
Those are my favorites.
they're risque.
They are funny.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're playing this game. This is a good game. This is a good, fun game. And it's brought to you by timeforrehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Heidi was just trying to split. She was going to leave before we got to our good news. You can't wait 2 minutes? She's sitting over there holding her keys, got her note. Do you need me for this? Yeah, I kind of do. It is, part of the show and all. All right, you ready for this?
I am.
All right, here we go. This positive story. Last week, there was this thing, the GameStop thing that went on, and some people made some money, and some other people lost some money. And, well, this is a cool story. Here's the headline. Investor uses GameStop games to help sick children. This is just a great story. I love this. An investor who wished to remain anonymous, didn't want his name getting out there, or her name getting out there, their name getting out there, delivered 10 Nintendo Switch game consoles that he purchased from GameStop locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He took them to Medical City Children's Hospital Thursday. The anonymous investor said that his efforts were made possible by his gains from the stock market.
That's
so he thought,
super cool.
I'm going to do something nice with it. And he went into GameStop and bought these games and then delivered them. He said, I just felt inspired to give back in a way that was equally hilarious. He said, I just thought it was really funny that I even made money on this. So the investor said that their hope is to convince others from this Wall Street Bets and Reddit group to give back in a similar way and to turn this GameStop short sale thing into a really nice force of good.
There has been a lot of positive things happening with the money that the average people made from that whole situation. I think it's beautiful. I love it.
It is.
Absolutely love it.
If you come across other cool stories like this, positive stories like this one, or other, just anything that's a good news story, I would love it if you'd share it with us, because then we can share it right here. It is our good news, brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Are you leaving?
I'm ready.
She's running out the door. It's the John and Heidi Show. Thanks for listening this weekend.